Hey guys, welcome. My name's Leah Lauder and I'm a mega church cult survivor, and I spent 18 years in a mega church cult. Welcome YouTubers. Please remember to subscribe to my channel. Don't just watch, please subscribe. Today I'm going to be talking about the truth behind the music ministry. Just so you're aware, for the viewers that are watching later on YouTube, I am actually live on TikTok. So you'll hear me welcoming guests, answering questions if I get any questions tonight. So just bear that in mind because you won't see the chat later. So it's an interactive live. Hey Queen Lucia, welcome. Welcome TikTokers. So I'm going to give a bit of an intro into this, a bit of a reflective piece. And then I'm going to kind of go over what the topic is, and then we'll get into it. Okay, just making sure I've got everything. Okay. So firstly, if you see the picture in the bottom right hand side and I'm in the yellow blouse, I was actually sent a video of me singing live by a survivor. Now, this is quite rare because we did have phones, but it wasn't like the age of technology now where we're live recording. We're sending instant, videos, and, it just wasn't how it is now. And this survivor said that they actually went on and, I don't know, recorded it or something off the Facebook, or it was years ago. And I was really shocked to see myself singing because it wasn't like how it is now. And it felt so validating because, it's not like how it is now. So I don't have the evidence like how I would today. But also to look at myself back, it was also really, really triggering because, I really believed that I was doing this for God. If you're joining on TikTok, please like the live. They've been so active, chair. And just memories just started flooding back to me, and I kind of felt like it was God's way, the universe, whoever, whatever you worship, coincidence, destiny, whatever, that this video was sent because, guys, there's so much trauma, and for me to revisit this, it really does take, I would say, like divine orchestration and me being pushed. Welcome Mimi, welcome Azzy. And so in this instance, when I saw myself sing, I just said, no, I've got to start talking about the music ministry and I've got to expose it because I gave my heart and soul. This is going to be a tough one tonight, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to need y'all to hold the space for me as well, I think, because this was my heart and soul. I gave absolutely everything to this ministry, and this is a reason why when some people out of the goodness of their heart were saying, oh, your ministry, I said, oh, please don't call it that, because it's really triggering for me, because everything in these spaces is about ministries. Hey Ruth, welcome. It's not really what I want to hear. So anyway, guys, yesterday I couldn't sleep. I don't know, I was just up the whole night. That's why I was pumping out content. And then I saw the survivor's message. It was like a day late. And I just opened the message. I wasn't expecting to see myself crying. I mean, singing. And then I started crying. I felt like I was having like a panic attack. It was just the shock of it. And then I had to just do some breath work and just take a step back. But it was like, how could you? How could you do this to me? Do you know what I mean? Like, I gave my heart and soul. Thank you, my love. And so anyway, I want to stay really focused on the topic tonight because people will be watching it later on YouTube and it's very hard to edit. All right, so bearing all of this in mind, I'm going to give a little intro into how I was indoctrinated to see the music ministry within a mega church cult space. And then I'm going to go into why cults exploit members, especially within the music ministry, and why it's significant. All right, let's get it. My name's Leah Lauder, mega church cult survivor of 18 years. I thought I was doing up church. It turned out to be a cult. I realised during the pandemic. So I am naturally a singer. I always do this. Why should I feel discouraged? Why should the shadows come? And why? Okay. I sing because everybody says they can sing, but I can sing. You know, this is my God-given talent. And just to cut the long story short, my boyfriend unalived in police custody. Long story short, I went on X Factor. I went on X Factor around the same time. And then I was recruited by the church cult. So when I was on the X Factor, I got to the final 5. I was in a girl band called Hope. Now, I was getting severely indoctrinated by my Mog, which is man of God, because I had then got booted out at the final 5. So he had more access to me. Queen Innes in the car. Anyway, I basically had a crossroad because they were telling me that singing in the world was EVIL. It's of the Satan, this, that, and the third. So I now left the band, left everything, left my dreams, and started singing in the church cult full time. Of course, when I left the band, I'm broke. I ain't got no job. Do you know what I'm saying? Guys, it was a mad time, I'm not going to lie. And then they just started heavily, like severely indoctrinating me. My mental health was really bad. I was in psychosis at the time. I was 19. My boyfriend had unalived. It was just a lot. And with the element of like police as well, it was very traumatic. So once my pastor heard I could sing, that was it. He started comparing me to like all the greats, CeCe Winans, Yolanda Adams, this, that, and the third, and started GROOM in me. I was very vulnerable. I come from a background with daddy issues, and if you have father wounds, go and check out the live that I did on my YouTube channel, Leah Lauder 777, and you will find the video there. Thank you, Queen Innes. So long story short, I'm just going to fast forward it to when I started singing. So obviously the Mog knew I could sing, but he was like, because I'm singing in the world, this, that, and the third, I can't sing for the Lord because the two don't mix. You can't serve the Lord and serve, you can't serve Mammon and serve God. You can't, you can't be of Satan and be in the world. You've got to be in the world. There was a lot of indoctrination all around that. So it got to the point where I felt like I've got to make a choice, and I do really love God, and I was feeling really grateful, guys. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, they just RADICALU in their chair. So anyway, I have to like now prove myself and be coming and whatever. But I'm just singing, I'm just singing from my heart. So now, long story short, I got put in this group. The group was called Olives. So as I'm talking, I'm going to try and see if I can do up changing the picture. And it should hopefully work because I've seen it on YouTube. I want to give you almost like a pictorial. All right. So I was in a girl group called the Olives. And there was no first love. There was no mustard seed. There was no pleasant surprises. This is going back like 2008. So it was just Lighthouse Chapel International. And we started off in, I should have got you pictures of the branch. But do you know what? This will do. We started off in a small branch in North Kensington, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do a bit of content on this so people can understand me a little bit more. All right, I'm just going to use this picture. So we started off in this little branch in North Kensington, and Reverend Edmund put us into a group called Olives. Now, he is very connected to Bishop Richard I.E. That's like his spiritual father. So I can't even remember how it happened. I think one day we got invited to sing. I think one day we got invited to sing an Apache. I don't know how it happened. And from that moment, that was it. It was like, we were just singing every week. Thanks for the follow, Jackie. We were singing every week. But it's very different to how it is now. They've tried to become a bit more inclusive. But back in the day, it was just a woman called LP Ida that used to sing. And then it was a woman called LP Marcella. That was it. It was very elitist. It was very hard. You had to be chosen. It was a lot. So anyway, you know, Bishop Richard heard me sing and that was it. I think when he heard me sing, I think he knew from that moment that my voice was going to help to, you know, obviously push the ministry forward. Layla in the car. Guys, when I tell you the rehearsals for this was absolutely rigorous, we were rehearsing every single day and we were all really young. Like the youngest was maybe like 16, something like that. And we were going around to this newly married woman's house who was like 25, rehearsing every single day. And everything had to be absolutely perfect. Every note, we couldn't forget any words. We had to stand still. We had to hold the mic in a certain way. Let me see if I can get the picture. Because back in the day in the cult, you couldn't move too much. You had to stand still. You had to minister straight. They made it very clear that, like, it's not a performance. So we need to be able to see the difference between ministering and then performing. The reason why I show this picture is because this is myself, and I was leading a choir. And basically, because I was so GROOM, like this video that I've been circulating of me singing live, and I'm not trying to big up myself, this is how it's seen in the cult. If you wanted like a perfect example, the only thing is I was moving too much, but if you wanted a perfect example of how you're supposed to minister as a daughter of the house and representing Dag Mills ministry, that is how it's done. There's a certain way, just from the way you hold your mic, the MOG will know what type of member you are, because the GROOM in everything is cloning in there. So this woman here was the only one that sung for Bishop Dag for years and years, at like over like I'd say maybe 15 years. And so we had to copy her, because in cults they do up cloning. Go and check out my video on YouTube, all right? So you can see that we are both holding the mic in exactly the same way. That is not coincidence. This is an older picture. I've got other pictures of her, how she holds the mic now. That was the way that we had to hold it. We had to stand still. We couldn't move. We weren't allowed to close our eyes. So even where I'm closing my eyes in between, it's like, you're not even allowed to do that. There's so many strict rules. You're not allowed lip gloss. You're not allowed color polish on your nails. You're not allowed long nails. You're not allowed like too loud like haircuts. So this was a special event. That's why I've done my hair like this, because I would have been told to do this, because majority of the time you're just rushing around, you don't have time, you look a mess. So when it's like special occasions, they expect you to just pull it out the bag, just put on your glad rags. It doesn't matter if you're broke, you don't have money to get nothing, you got to find a way. So there's no real care about anyone. When you're in these ministries, it's a dog eat dog world chair. That's what it is. Because you've got to find a way, you've got to make it happen, and you've got to be there. Another thing that I will tell you is that in my cult, they described the choir as the flower of the church, okay? And basically how they sold it to us was that this choir is basically the thing that will attract people to the cult. Here we go. The choir is the flower of the church. It will attract people to the cult. Now, back in the day, and this is what I said to you, because cults they're in self-sealing systems. Like, you would think that this picture was from like the 90s, but it's not. This picture was from the 2000s, like maybe 2000 and I want to say maybe 2010, 11. And there's this uniformity that they do up in there. It is the selling point of these organizations. You got to remember, more than half of their event, which is the service, is made up of music. Whether that's like they're doing dancing, they're doing singing, the choir groups, whatever. It is a really good way to like recruit people and get people in. So that's why I said RPF's doing so well. Thank you, Ange. That's why I said RPF's doing so well, because they've got like a very good ministry. They've mastered mystical manipulation. And usually when the MOG is an instrumentalist or is, gifted musically, then they can grow any church, because once you've got a good choir, you've got a good music ministry, it will bring people in, all right? So how they basically they started GROOM by basically telling me that it's like, according to the Bible, like they bring in a lot of mystical manipulation and hyper religiosity, and they be like, basically the minstrels are the ones who are set apart. It's not everyone who's been gifted with a voice. And then they were telling me like I'm anointed, I'm chosen, I'm set apart. Then they started to basically how my mog sold it to me was like, it's not singing like in the world, because basically I had the voice in it, but it was like they had to humble me, they had to break me down to be like, no, actually you're not the best, it's not about the voice, because in the world that's what it's about. So here you have to pray, you have to be which, you know, at the time, and it does logically make sense, but this is all GROOM in to start to control you, because it's inordinate amounts of your time. And then there's a lot of like things that you have to give up and that you have to do. It's very like transactional and dependent on you ticking all the boxes. So anyway, they started like, and then like, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, my mog took it deep, yeah. He was telling me about all of the, like, you know, like the Wall of Jericho and the music. And then he was showing me scriptures like, your prayer reaches heaven quicker when it's like a sweet smelling incense onto God. So it's like, it travels quicker. Guys, I'm not going to lie. They just did it up. Then once my mog started to raise me up in the Lord. So I'm going to speak cult jargon. And he birthed me in the ministry. So basically raising you up means teaching you. There's a scripture that they'll use that you need to start to desire the earnest, the sincere milk of the word. And then they say, we're your spiritual father. The milk of the word is what we're teaching. So we're feeding you, okay? Oh my gosh, guys, I'm actually disassociated because this is actually so triggering, chair. All right, what was I getting to? All right, I've completely disassociated. I'm just gonna answer a question because someone's asked me a question right here. They are proper cloned, just like my old cult, exactly the same. Hey, Denny. Guys, that was so hard for me to just talk about just then. I've completely, like, my whole, like, system just shut down. And I want to say to people, this is really difficult for me to do because I gave up my dream to start singing in the cult. And I gave it up under the pretense that I was doing this for God and singing in the world was EVIL and it was different. Come to find out that it's even worse. Because in these spaces, you get like the people that didn't make it, the people that were rejected, the people that would never make it in the world, because they're so desperate for like numbers and to get people, you know, like rooted and established. And you know what I'm saying? That there's another agenda, there's another motive at play. And the things are always changing based off the needs of the cult leader. So in the beginning, you could have been the main singer. Then there's like a whitey face that comes in. Because remember, I'd be considered as that with a good voice. And it's like you get replaced. And then when you're getting upset about it, because rightly so, you were there for 7 years, built the ministry, got it to where it is. And then now when you're not needed anymore, they're telling you that you should do the... Now you're head of facilitations of the ministry. This is a higher calling because now you're, you know, you're pastoring. This is going to be about you being a leader of leaders. So now I've got the girl leading me, over me, who I've replaced, who is hating on me, that's sorting out all the rehearsals, that's giving me songs to sabotage me. They've already got their clique in the Instrumentalists, so now the Instrumentalists ain't playing that well for me, messing up the key. Guys, it's deep. It's deep. It's deep. There's a survivor that's saying they always replace. Do you know what? It's such a big doctrine in there. You're replaceable. And then they bring in like the fair tactics, because then they say to you, you know, you're disposable to God. You know, you're born a sinner. You were supposed, like, it's like you were destined for condemnation and HELL. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you should feel grateful. You should feel grateful because God can just replace you. Like, you're not that special. And because they've got that rhetoric of, well, oh, we're not special, we're a sinner, we, you know, just that rhetoric. You know what I'm trying to say? That it allows us to be So I've given you a little flavour into how, because I was thinking about it the other day, like they GROOOM'd me real bad. Like real, but I couldn't see it all happening at the time because they break you down and they make you feel like you're not good enough. And, you know, like I remember I gave my pastor that, like, it was a little demo. I recorded this in, you know, like the man them's yard, you know, when they got the padding in their room, like in their wardrobe. Come on, man. I paid that dude about £20. Come on, man. I was 19. I showed the CD to my pastor. I was well happy because I read about my boyfriend that unalive. It was like, it's not a song, Lord. This is a testimony, you know. And I had a little one where I was rapping as well. I gotta make that pee by the end of the week. I was writing about, you know, my boyfriend that unalive. Are you all right? And it was some little classical beat. I thought I did my big one. Hear him to me. Basically, like, no, he didn't tell me at the time. He just took the CD. Then one day my man's preaching. Imagine I've been in the cult for maybe like, I don't know, 5 years at this point. My man's in the pulpit and he's like, Leah. And you know when they call your name, you have to stand up. So I'm standing up in front of the whole congregation. I was like, oh, remember when you came to me? He was like, remember when you gave me the demo? And I'm like, yeah, like, you know, feeling really proud. He's like, it was terrible. Everyone's laughing in the church. Busting up. He was like, the harmonies were off. She sounded terrible. This, that. He was just going in. And he was like, and now you see her singing to the glory of God. You see, but do you see, it's absolutely horrible, babe. But do you also see that it's like he's taken the glory for himself? He wants everyone to know, including me, I made you. I made you what you are. Yeah. They keep chipping at you and nothing's ever good enough. Like, and this is the thing. That's why I'm so glad, like, I've got that video because, you know, you can see what it is. And that's why I'm so, like, I feel like God equipped me with everything I needed to do this because I feel like my voice is my testimony. Oh my gosh, that's how my song went. This ain't a song. This is my testimony. That's literally how I thought that song was hard. Are you all right? Maybe one day I'll release it and be like, he's laughing now, sweetie. All right. On TikTok, they say exactly. If it wasn't for him, you wouldn't have had the voice you have. Exactly. But everything's about, you know, the cult leader and worshipping the cult leader. Do you know what, guys? I'm thinking maybe I should restart the live at this point. Just so I can edit it for YouTube. But do you know what? No, let's keep going because you know what? I've got a couple people on here and we're in a vibe. We're in a flow. So let's just get it. I just don't want to be over an hour. Thanks for the follow. All right. So you know ChatGPT is my best friend. When you're trying to protect your energy, that's what it is. I'm going to change it back to the other photo that we had up because, you know, I think this really encapsulates just the music ministry, especially back in my day, Chair. Have you lot clocked the shoes? On the left-hand side, you might not be able to clock them. Chair. Listen, the uniforms I had to wear and the things I had to go through. And the thing is, you're so indoctrinated that you actually think you look good at the time. Like, guys, you know, especially this one with the scarf. Oh, my gosh, I thought I looked good, Chair. Hey. Oh, hey, girl. How are you? I don't want to say the name because it's going to go on YouTube. How are you, Queen? So lovely to see you, girl. So it's like, I thought, like, we really thought we looked good at the time. And especially because it's like, it's quite a groomed look. So it's not like my shirt was just ironed. I had starch. It's the starch, isn't it? The thing I used to spray on their chair. Are you all right? I used to make sure my uniform and everything was ironed from the night before because I didn't have kids. And that's the thing, when you're single, it's so good because like you're so depressed, your life is so, and then all of a sudden now you're thinking about what you're going to wear tomorrow, and you got the ministry and you got these people that, you know, it's mad in their chair. Lord God Almighty, Mother and Jesus Christ, Father, King Almighty, Alpha and Omega, Jehovah Jireh, my Lord and King, Lord God. Lord God Almighty. You know what I'm saying? You even forget what it was like being single there, Jer. I'm good. Good to see you too. Oh, so nice to see you, Jer. Oh, Layla's taking me out. No, wait, hold on. There's this. Oh, please, can someone pin that? She said to make it Chris. All right, let's get into a little story. There was like an older woman, like an auntie in the branch chair. She was just an MESS chair. Like, seriously, like, you know, when you're in there, because she was like in her 30s, had one son, and she had so much going for her, a good job, loads of money. She bought some little house, you know, in Harlesden, but still today that house is going to be worth a lot. She was doing good for herself, but you know, in these cults, everything's about marriage, having a man. This woman went to go and make herself vulnerable, went to go and meet some man in America. It was just a whole MESS. My girl's got money to just fly herself out and do it up. Anyway, got her heart broken, came back. It was just a whole palaver. But anyway, when she used to come to church here, her shirt used to be crisp. I'm thinking, I'm trying to iron my shirt like that, chair. Why are my shirts not looking like that? Oh, look, they're trying to get the thing. Why are my shirts not looking like that? So I'm just like, almost. So one time I said to her, oh, like, how do you get your shirts like that? Oh, hey, Esther. I'm like, how do you get your shirts like that? She's told me about the starch. And then I'm not going to lie, she did bust me because I didn't know about TM Lewins and Halls and Cat. Who knew about TM Lewin? Yeah. I knew about baby fat back in the day. That was, you know, because because I was like a GM's gal, innit? So it was just like, what was the trainers? Hirachis. Oh my gosh, you lot imagine, yeah. I don't think you understand. It's crazy when you go out with the GM because they get you like these hood clothes, and it's like I'm like a proper girly girl. My man's coming back with these Hirachis. Says, oh, it's a limited edition, it's baby blue. You've just spent $3 on a pair of trainers. Like, I remember I had to take my first ever boyfriend to the jewelry shop and be like get me this. Like, if you're gonna spend like $3 on some trainers, yeah, because that's not me, man. But he used to do really cute things like get us matching era hats. He got me some, it wasn't an Avrex, but it was like a baby fat jacket that was like an Avrex, and then it was reversible and it had fur, so he used to do up the matching. How did we get there, Chair? How did we get there? I don't know how we got there. But anyway, there was a point of me telling you all of that, Chair. Oh yeah, the shirt. So yeah, that was basically my aesthetic, because remember, I'm like a Y2K baddie. Chair, I'm never going out like that, Chair. Back like I never left. You get it's called a Y2K aesthetic, Chair. That's what it's called. So just be thinking Video Vixen, Aaliyah, Megan Good, all of that good stuff. You lot, honestly, you know, like, I know these cult leaders have felt like they've met their match, Chair. Because it doesn't, is that my Haynes? It don't get more delulu than me, Chair. The only one that I think can't touch me is Aaliyah. That's it. Everybody else can't touch me, man. All right. Let me take a deep breath. So anyway, I didn't know about Halls and Curtis, and I didn't know about TM Lewin. And I remember going there for the first time, and then they used to have this deal on the shirts. I think it was like 2 for 50 or 2 for 60 or whatever. So I used to have all these. So you can see the shirt is shirting. The shirt is crisp. Because that's a big flex. Are you all right? Check out the cuff links. That's what I'm saying. These y'all them want to come and have some chat for me. For me. From when I've been spraying up the shirt them with starch and doing up cufflinks since 2007. My girl won't come chat for me. Okay, my girl. Let's go. You get me? Listen, I've been ironing these shirts with starch in my hostel. You know them ones. Since 2007. You lot wait for the music, Chair. They're going to be loving the music. They're going to be listening to it, baby. Acting like, oh, we're listening for... But you know you're loving it, man. Because that's your life right now. Because my life, however many years ago, 20 years ago, that's a lot of their lives that they're living now. A lot of them are in care homes. A lot of them are in hostels. A lot of them are in, like, council flats overcrowded. It's an escapism for them. It's another life and another world. You know, you've got certain gal in there and certain man. They've been in an overcrowded house since the day they were born. And they've been on this housing register for like 25 years, like their whole life. Then they start going to Paris for 3 months. The pastor prays for them. She says, oh, I've put in this housing application, da 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 da. Or I don't know, something. It's like now all of a sudden it was because of that prayer, that divine intervention, that you got the yard. Guys, honestly, yeah, common sense is not so common in their chair. I definitely know them ones. Just reading some of the comments if you're watching on YouTube later. All right, I've gone on and on now. Guys, I'm going to restart the live because I have had a few restrictions, and it makes sense because this is going to be the intro, YouTube. When we get back, and this is the reason that you should tune in tonight or whenever you're watching. It might be morning, depending on where you're locked in from. You know, my cult leader would say that, chat. I'm pulling a jag on you. All right, Leah, behave. I don't know how to behave. Should I be naughty or should I be nice? Okay, guys, I can't figure out whether I want to be like this, you know, like really like hallelujah, you know, like this spiritual lady, or if I just want to run wild. All right, so when we come back, because we're going to take a little break, get a tea like we usually do, and then we're going to come back and explore why cults exploit members, especially through the music ministry. So we're going to be looking at supply, free labor for profit, isolation through rehearsals, etc., etc. I don't want to give it away too much. And then this is a trigger warning. We're going to kind of go into how the music ministry leaves vulnerable women that have histories and pasts of vulnerability around you know what areas. And so how Preds thrive in these environments and how they get access to their victims. All right. So we've got all of that to come. Guys, give me about 10 minutes or less. I'm just going to give me about 5 minutes. I might come back on this account. This is for the TikTokers. YouTube, you can go now. Love you. For the TikTokers, I might come on this account or I might come on another one. So check my account. All right. I'll see you in a minute. Love you.